what it was like to raise
I'll tell you what,
four kids in the 70s.
First of all, I'll tell you what I will tell you. The event of meeting your mother. Do you know how I met your mother?
Blind date?
No.
Oh, someone was supposed to take her out and they didn't show up.
That's right.
Aren't you lucky?
Well, I think I am. Yeah. I think it's remarkable because, for one thing, I was concurrently reading Mein Kampf, which is Hitler's autobiography. If you ask me why the hell I was reading that, I would tell you I haven't the faintest idea.
It was on the New York Times bestseller?
No. First of all, I was 19 or 20 years old. I was reading the New York Times then.
So when the date didn't show up, how did you fit into that?
Well, I don't know your mother may know the exact, what happened was she had a car, a borrowed car. Your mother always has arrangements. She had I guess you could call it a boyfriend, but I think it wasn't a boyfriend as dating, but a guy who worked at a gas station.
The guy who was a friend.
I never met the guy, and so I've told you everything I know about him. But he lent your mother the car. It was a 1950 Plymouth convertible, which is not a top-of-the-line car, 6-cylinder. And he had a date with your mother at, I'll pick a time, 4 o'clock. He didn't show up. And I guess for background, you should know that we had a 5-bedroom or 6-bedroom house, I forget.
You were living with Grandma?
The whole family.
Okay.
John, whoever, Billy, I don't know. And so there were 2 bedrooms on the top floor, and I shared one with Billy erratically. I think he was doing something unusual, like the railroad or something, at any rate. And Grandberg was a guy who had gone to college in South Dakota and claimed that he was interested in theology. My mother took him in pretty much the way your mother, your mother takes in people, because
She feels sorry for him.
No, I'm not sure. First of all, I don't know the answer to that. My guess is someone asked her, and she said, I got a room and he can come in. I guess it was because I was in his age bracket, basically. I had come out of the service and was sort of thrashing around, going to bars at night, because it was in March, and you can't gin up anything in March too easily if you don't have any connections, and you don't after you've been going for 2 years.
Speaking of gin, go ahead, take a sip.
I am.
But back to Mom. How
So
you
I
go
was
to date?
studying Sunday afternoon, and somehow I noticed that there's a car out there and a woman, I guess. I certainly don't know the details, and I guess I learned that she had a date with Grandberg and was going to meet him, and he stood her up at our house.
Like she was even picking him up.
That's right.
Jeez.
And she had to cross the city. She went all the way from Bethesda to Southeast Branch Avenue. At any rate, I don't know whether I yelled down to her or walked down. How do I, when I talked to her?
Well, what was your first impression of her?
I have zero recollection of that. At that time, I had just gotten out of the military.
Well, did you think she was pretty?
I just told you. I got this.
Did you like her accent?
ask this question. First of all, I was 21.
Okay, forget it. You were 19 a minute ago, but where did you go on the date?
I don't think. Oh, we went to Andrews Air Force Base. It was Armed Forces Day. But what was novel to me is here I am reading this Adolf Hitler's book.
Did you discuss it with her?
I did discuss it with her. We didn't get very far in it for sort of obvious reasons. I don't know whether she showed no interest or I thought I was, beating a dead horse or whatever it was. The topic came up because it was so unusual to be.
Yeah, it was a coincidence.
That's right.
And how long did you wait to ask her out on another date?
Well, first of all, I didn't have any girlfriends at the time. Mary Mudd was a recurring girlfriend, but she lived in Baltimore then. And there may have been one or two available for Marceron or somebody else you pass on to, take this broad out. So I didn't have anything going as I can recall.
And the rest is history.
And I have no idea. I couldn't tell you what was phase 2, 3, 4, 5.